Another thing that happened, B'shaychas to the Rebbe, when he gave our trip to Russia, one of the places we went was to Odessa. And there we went to a family, and all the pratim is not negated to this union here, but we were in the house, we saw a baby, that was thing, this was, like I said, Purim time, and the baby looked like it was about half a year old, about 6 months old. So we're talking to the mother, and the mother said to us like this, that this baby was born like a week or two before Yom Kippur. In Odessa, there was no mail, so if any person wanted to do a bris, had to take the child someplace to a big city, would go to Moscow. But you can't take a baby that's just a week or 8 days old to Moscow, so they would wait. The baby grew up a little bit, became a few months old, and then they would take, especially the mother couldn't go either. The mother just had a baby, she's a kimpeton, so how could she travel? So they would wait. She tells us, this woman says that, but I thought to myself, how in the world can I have my baby go through Yom Kippur without having a bris? Impossible. So I decided, no matter how, even though I just had the baby, so I'm still weak, and the baby is so weak and so small, we're going to Moscow. So she tried to make a reservation on the plane, couldn't get a reservation. She took the train for 24 hours and came to Moscow, had the bris, and right away took the train back. All in order for before Yom Kippur, the baby should have a bris. And she told it to me without bragging or being so proud of it. I said, how else could it be? Then we were talking, and I asked her which mikveh did she use. The mikveh there was no mikveh in Odessa. She says, well, I go to the Black Sea, because Odessa is on the Black Sea. So I said to her, but it's very cold. Even though we know the Black Sea doesn't actually become ice, but it's freezing water, how do you go in the winter? She looked at me and said, well, what? You got to go to the mikveh, you got to go to the mikveh. I mean, tapashtas, there's no... And to me, I'm thinking, such a thing like this is real Mesiras Nefesh, both things. But by her, it was nothing. I came back to New York. I wrote to the Rebbe report. So first I came back, and it was Friday. I wrote to the Rebbe report, Bekitzer Nimratz, and then after that I sat down and wrote a long report. But one of the things I wanted to write to the Rebbe was these two things about this woman, which gave me such a seder, because it saw that the main thing is he didn't even think of it as something special. So I wanted to write to the Rebbe, but I was so mevulvel when I sat down, I wrote the report, I forgot to put this in. So when I gave it to the Rebbe, I forgot I wanted to do this. I called up Rabbi Groner, and I said to him, I was in New York, I called Rabbi Groner, and I said to Rabbi Groner that I wanted to tell the Rebbe, write these two things. I didn't. If you get a chance, if you don't mind, if you could tell this to the Rebbe. And that's it. Friday night I was on 770 downstairs, so I get people are telling me Rabbi Groner is looking for you. So I went and found him, and he says, yes, he told the Rebbe that these two things, and the Rebbe told him these words. Zogem, they'll sail to the Higebale Mesiras Nefesh. Tell him to tell this to the people here who think that, he didn't say the word thing, the people here who go on Mesiras Nefesh, sarcastically, meaning people here think they're really going on Mesiras Nefesh. So he said, Zogem as does it say on so the Higebale Mesiras Nefesh. Tell him that he should tell this to the people here who go on Mesiras Nefesh, basically meaning who think that they do Mesiras Nefesh.